There's a silent crisis happening in the mirror, one that creeps up slowly, often undetected. It starts with a glance, a wrinkle, a gray strand of hair, a change in posture. Then before you know it, self-doubt settles in. You start questioning your reflection. The man staring back at you seems older, less magnetic. Maybe you've stopped believing you're attractive altogether. But what if you're wrong? What if the image you've constructed of yourself is based on a flawed standard one, shaped by a society that clings desperately to youth and ignores the quiet power that age brings? What if the signs of attractiveness in your 60s and 70s are no longer loud declarations, but subtle affirmations? What if even now women still notice? You admire your confidence and are drawn to your presence, but you've simply overlooked the signs. The truth is, many older men unconsciously disconnect from their own sense of self-worth. It's not vanity, it's vulnerability. After decades of responsibilities, changes in the body, and fading attention from the outside world, it's easy to assume that your appeal has diminished. But in reality, you may be more attractive now than you've ever been, just in ways you've stopped recognizing. As a senior care professional, I've had countless conversations with men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond who've shared the same quiet doubt: do I still have it? My answer is always the same. Absolutely, you never lost it. You just need to see it differently. This article isn't about shallow compliments or temporary boosts of ego. It's about uncovering the deeper, lasting traits that make older men incredibly attractive, often more so than they were in their youth. Through 8 distinct signs, real-life stories, and insights supported by research, we'll uncover the truth that attractiveness after 60 doesn't fade. It transforms. So before you give in to the narrative that you've become invisible, read on. Because these signs might already be showing, and once you learn how to recognize them, you'll begin to walk taller, speak clearer, and perhaps even smile at your reflection again. 1. Younger women feel naturally at ease around you. This may be one of the most overlooked signs of attractiveness in older men, yet it is one of the strongest. When younger women feel comfortable, safe, and even curious in your presence, it's not a coincidence, it's the subtle manifestation of mature magnetism. Unlike younger men who often project excitement or uncertainty, older men offer a kind of calm that many women find grounding and refreshing. A 2021 survey conducted by the American Psychological Association revealed that 58% of women aged 25 to 35 expressed that they felt more emotionally safe and relaxed when interacting with older men compared to men their own age. The reasons cited included emotional intelligence, stability, and respectful communication. In practical terms, this might look like a barista remembering your name and engaging in longer than usual chats, or a neighbor's daughter seeking your advice on a career decision. It's not always flirtation, but it is attraction grounded in admiration. Take the story of Steven, 68, a retired pilot who volunteers part-time at a local library. He mentioned how the younger female staff frequently ask for his opinions, not because he forces them, but because they just feel like he listens better. They often laugh at his dry humor and linger in conversation. Steven never thought of himself as attractive, but others clearly did. The takeaway here is simple: emotional presence is magnetic. If you notice younger women naturally gravitating toward you, seeking your perspective, sharing a laugh, or just feeling calm around you, it's not just respect. It's attraction wrapped in comfort. 2. You get compliments on your appearance or style without fishing for them. In your 30s or 40s, you might have actively worked for compliments by changing hairstyles, hitting the gym, or wearing something bold. But in your 60s and beyond, when a compliment comes your way, it's often unprompted and deeply genuine. It's not flattery, it's recognition. As we age, our fashion sense becomes more refined, more rooted in identity than trend. A well-fitted jacket, a neatly trimmed beard, or the subtle scent of a classic cologne, these details say more than words ever could. They communicate dignity, awareness, and care, and others notice. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that seniors who maintained a consistent personal grooming routine and a distinct style were perceived as more trustworthy, capable, and yes, more attractive by both peers and younger age groups. Appearance, it turns out, is less about youth and more about intentional presentation. Tom, 72, a retired architect, is regularly told he looks sharp when he attends community events. His secret: he wears clothes that fit well, carries himself with upright posture, and never leaves home without a touch of cologne. He doesn't try to look young. He aims to look like himself, and that quiet integrity is what people find captivating. If you've ever heard someone say, "I love your jacket," or "you always smell good," take note. Those remarks are more than surface level. They're signals that you've kept something essential alive: pride in presentation. 3. You catch their eye and they linger longer than expected. One of the most subtle and telling signs of continued attractiveness is the look that lingers. You know the one. You notice someone glance at you once, then again. Perhaps they quickly look away when you catch their gaze. It's quick, it's soft, and it often leaves you wondering, was that intentional? Yes, it was. Eye contact is one of the oldest forms of human connection. It bypasses language, cuts through distraction, and taps into instinct. When someone looks at you longer than is socially necessary, it's almost always a nonverbal expression of interest or intrigue. For men over 60, this moment can be difficult to believe. Many assume it's accidental or they dismiss it entirely. But remember, women, particularly in public spaces, are often subtle with their cues. They may not approach you outright, but they will observe quietly and with curiosity. A client of mine, Henry, age 70, shared how he repeatedly noticed a woman at his gym watching him during their morning workouts. "I thought maybe I was using the machine wrong," he joked. But after weeks of small smiles and shared glances, she finally introduced herself. They've been walking partners ever since. The point here isn't to encourage romantic assumptions. It's to remind you that your energy still creates ripple effects in the room. People notice you, and often the signs are right in front of you if you slow down and let yourself see them. 4. Others turn to you for advice. And listen closely. Attractiveness is not limited to physical traits. In fact, one of the most deeply attractive qualities in an older man is wisdom. And wisdom, when delivered with humility and patience, becomes irresistible. If people seek your input, whether it's on relationships, work, or even how to fix something around the house, it's not only because they think you're smart, it's because they trust you. Trust and admiration are powerful emotional responses, and they are foundational to attraction. According to a 2020 report by the National Institute on Aging Older Adults, who are viewed as mentors or guides within their families or communities, report significantly higher levels of social connection and personal well-being. They're also more likely to be described by others as engaging or inspiring. This isn't abstract. Think about when your adult children ask for your thoughts, or when neighbors come to you with questions. That's not just familiarity, it's reverence. And reverence breeds appeal. Marcus 65 is regularly sought out by younger men in his retirement community, not for financial advice, but for relationship guidance. His ability to listen without judgment, to share story without arrogance, has earned him admiration from people half his age. That level of respect doesn't just make him wise, it makes him magnetic. 5. You radiate a quiet confidence that commands respect. There's something undeniably magnetic about a man who is comfortable in his own skin, especially in his later years. Unlike younger men who often feel the pressure to prove themselves through competition status or noise, an attractive older man understands that presence is more powerful than performance. This quiet confidence doesn't come from arrogance. It's rooted in experience. It's in how you walk into a room with a calm demeanor. It's in how you listen before you speak. It's the assurance in your tone when others are unsure. And it's the calm under pressure that tells the world, this man has been through enough to know what matters and what doesn't. What's important to understand is that this kind of confidence isn't built overnight. It's forged through decades of facing challenges, overcoming setbacks, and learning to navigate life's unpredictable turns. And whether or not you see it, others do. Women in particular are highly attuned to emotional steadiness. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Human Behavior and Relationships found that mature emotional regulation, often displayed through calmness in conversation, openness in disagreement, and patience in social settings, is one of the top traits women over 30 find attractive in older men. Don't underestimate this gift. If people are drawn to your presence without you saying a word, if others feel more grounded when you speak, then you're already displaying one of the most attractive traits a man can possess: emotional authority. 6. People notice your physical vitality. Even if you don't, it's a myth that older age automatically means physical decline. While the body naturally changes, how you move, stand, and carry yourself speaks volumes about your health and in turn your attractiveness. A man doesn't need a six-pack to be admired, but if you maintain good posture, engage in regular physical activity, and preserve a level of strength and flexibility, others will notice even if you don't. According to data from the National Institute on Aging, men over 60 who walk regularly, perform basic strength training, and eat a balanced diet report 30% higher self-confidence and are rated more attractive by peers in both peer and intergenerational studies. Movement translates directly into presence. A confident stride, a steady handshake, or even the way you stand up from a chair all hint at vitality, and vitality is inherently appealing. Let's consider James, 74, a retired electrician. He walks 2 miles every morning and does light bodyweight exercises 3 times a week. At a recent family gathering, his niece's friend, a woman in her 40s, remarked how energetic and sharp he seemed. James had never thought of himself as attractive, but his discipline and liveliness quietly said otherwise. So if people comment on how well you've aged, how strong you look, or how youthful your energy feels, understand that these are not just casual remarks. They are compliments rooted in admiration for your dedication to staying alive in every sense of the word. 7. Your sense of humor still draws people. Humor is one of the most underrated indicators of charisma. And no, you don't need to be a comedian. You simply need to be yourself, a man who isn't afraid to laugh at life even when it throws curveballs. If women laugh at your jokes, even the corny, dry, or so-called dad jokes, they aren't just being polite. They're responding to the charm and ease with which you carry yourself. Humor is deeply connected to confidence, warmth, and timing. When used with grace, it can be more attractive than any physical trait. This is especially true in social and family settings. Laughter builds bonds, breaks tension, and creates memories. A man who can bring lightness into a room without forcing it instantly becomes the person others want to be around. Consider Robert, 69, a widower who joined a senior support group after losing his wife. He didn't say much at first, but when he did, it was always something clever or endearing. Over time, others gravitated toward him, not because he was loud, but because his humor was disarming, kind, and sincere. Today, he's not just seen as a strong man, he's beloved for making people feel good when they're around him. So the next time you crack a joke and hear someone genuinely laugh, pay attention. That laughter is telling you something. You're not invisible. You're still bringing joy. 8. Women send subtle signs, and you're starting to notice them again. One of the clearest yet most easily missed signs of attractiveness in older men is how women respond through subtle body language. And these signs rarely come with words, they come with gestures. If you've noticed a woman mirroring your posture during a conversation, lightly touching your arm while speaking, or playing with her hair when you talk, it's not random. These are all subconscious signals that she feels connected to you. And that connection often contains attraction. The challenge is many older men have become so disconnected from the possibility of being admired that they dismiss these cues. After years of being overlooked, they've forgotten what attention feels like. But attraction doesn't disappear with age, it simply becomes quieter, more nuanced. That's why awareness is so powerful. If you start noticing that certain women seek you out, laugh more in your presence, or touch your hand a little longer than necessary, understand that these are the new signs. They're not bold declarations, they're subtle invitations. Frank, 73, told me a story about a woman he met at a volunteer center. She was 58, warm, kind, and always seemed to find a reason to talk to him. She always touched my elbow when she laughed, he said. I thought it was just how she talked. It wasn't. They're now in their second year of a relationship built on mutual admiration and deep connection. Don't dismiss the signs. Learn to read them. Because when you do, you may start to see that you were never invisible. You were just out of practice. And for conclusion, there's a powerful truth hiding in plain sight. Attractiveness doesn't disappear with age, it evolves. But if you don't know how to see it, you'll miss it in the mirror, in a woman's glance, in the way people interact with you. You'll mistake calm for invisibility. You'll mistake experience for irrelevance. And worst of all, you'll let go of a part of yourself that never needed to fade. What we've explored today are not shallow compliments or empty affirmations. They are real, grounded signs that older men, especially those who carry themselves with quiet strength, dignity, and clarity, still carry an immense magnetic presence. Not through flash or bravado, but through wisdom, health, humor, and presence. Let's recap these signs. You're still attractive if younger women feel safe around you, if people compliment your style, if glances linger longer than expected, if others come to you for guidance, if your confidence puts people at ease, if your physical vitality stands out, if your humor makes others feel alive, and if women send subtle signals of connection because they see something powerful in you. These aren't tricks, they're truths. And the sooner you see them, the sooner you can reclaim the confidence that time never truly stole, it only buried. So here's what I want you to remember. Attractiveness isn't about chasing attention or proving anything. It's about walking into the second half of life with awareness and pride. It's about recognizing the signals, stepping into your full presence, and understanding that you still have something people are drawn to because of who you are not in spite of your age. You're not past your prime. You're in a different kind of prime, one that's quieter, deeper, and far more powerful. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect. Which of these signs have shown up in your life lately? Maybe you've brushed them off. Maybe it's time to look again, this time with new eyes. And if you're ready to continue this journey of self-respect, health, and confident aging, I invite you to be part of something bigger, like this article. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And most importantly, subscribe to Longevity Secret, where we believe every man deserves to age with power, purpose, and pride. Because the secret isn't in staying young forever. It's in learning how to grow old beautifully and owning every step of the way.